Hi everybody, my name is Chris Mishler. Welcome to The Lens. Today, joining us as always is the fantastic pool of talent that is down here in this basement, right here in City Hall. First of all, let's start with Darla Couch right over there. Darla, would you wave at the people, all your fans? Would you? Do that?
Hi.
There you go. Right next to me is Jody Townsend. Jody, would you wave? There we go. And then Frank. Frank, would you wave? This is Frank Owens. Frank, this has nothing to do with breast cancer awareness. Yes. He just chose it today. Mary Kay?
Mary Kay, yes. I'm their newest rep.
Yes. And I'm
We are so proud of
Thank
you.
you.
newest rep.
We support you.
Yes,
I am
thank you.
Chris Mishler. And Jody, you have invited somebody very special to be with us today on The Lens.
I did.
Would you introduce the entire world to this young
No
man
pressure.
right
Yes.
here?
Hey, this is just Anderson TV.
Yeah. It's just, let's not get ahead
I
of
like to
ourselves
dream.
there.
There's
not
a lot
get
of people
crazy.
watching.
Dream big.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is Rick Singleton, and Rick is a local business owner here in Anderson and owns the Slick Music Studio and operates the Open Jam here at City Hall, and which is an awesome event. And,
Yeah.
so, yeah, and I've gotten to know you because my kids take lessons there at Slick, which how many students do you have there?
Close to 200.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
One's my kid as well.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
right. Yeah,
That's
and,
incredible.
And you have several instructors
Yeah.
there, and so what kind of lessons do you offer?
All kinds. String instruments, percussion, woodwinds, brass winds, almost everything.
Tell us about the history of how, now you're from Anderson, correct? And how did Slick Music Studio come to be?
Well, I started a lesson program at Downham Music, which was in town for 52 years. And so I started a program there. And when that store closed, I wasn't ready to stop, and none of the people on my teaching staff were ready to stop, so we started our own thing. I started the company, and they all came with me.
Yep.
So,
About how long ago was that?
5 years.
Okay.
Rick, what was the scariest thing about starting the company?
The fact that I had never owned a company before.
Well, you're not that old. I mean, no offense, but you're not that old,
Yeah,
so you were
yeah.
pretty young
Yeah.
starting your own company. So,
Yeah.
yeah, that would be, a bit intimidating.
Yeah.
What was
Fun
your
to learn.
first thing of doing as far as starting a company? What did you do? Do you remember your first official piece of business?
Yeah, that was looking for a location,
Yeah.
which I had about 2 months to get together. So first I thought, find a space and come up with a name, and
Yeah.
just one thing at a time.
Have you always been located where you are currently? First of all,
Yeah,
tell
yeah.
everybody where that is.
It's 10th and Meridian in the PNC building,
Yep.
up on the 4th floor. So, and we've been there ever since I started the company.
Yeah.
And you've got pretty much, well, almost all of the fourth floor, don't you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So there's several practice rooms and offices and
Yeah,
everything.
yeah.
Good.
Each teacher has their own space, so, and they're good, decent sized rooms, so, you can actually
Oh, yeah.
feel comfortable and.
I love going
Spread
up
out.
there. I tell my kids, I say it's the best smelling place in Anderson. It does. It has a great smell to it. But then you get up there.
Never been to my house.
Yeah, no, I'm pretty sure we have.
But then you get to look at the skyline of Anderson.
It is a
and-
beautiful
It
view,
is.
I agree.
Yeah, I love it, and it's it's close to downtown. So when there's music events downtown, and at the time I'm down there, hop, skip, and jump, and I love downtown Anderson. So.
I do too.
Yeah.
Jody, when you're on there and you can see the what'd you call it?
The skyline.
The skyline of Anderson. Can you see City Hall?
Yeah.
Do you see the Christmas tree on top yet?
No.
Okay.
Are we getting one?
Are you guys putting one on there?
We've never put a Christmas tree on top of City Hall.
What city are you in, man?
You're thinking the old bank building
Yeah,
where he's
there-
at. They used to
yeah.
have a Christmas tree on the PNC building.
No, but there was one downtown Anderson, and it was in the
On the
building.
bank building,
Yeah,
yes.
that
Yeah.
you're
In
in.
fact, you can still see the frame of it. It's up there now.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
You mean, wow.
It'll get lit up probably within the next week or so.
That's awesome. So when you went to the fourth floor, did you just start with one room and then you just branched out the entire fourth floor, or what?
No, the program already existed with several teachers, so I needed a space where everyone could come with me and have their own room. So I found that that most of the fourth floor was vacant at that point, so I just leased that almost the whole floor,
Wow.
which had the perfect number of rooms and just about the perfect size for me. So
And you
That's
chose to
incredible.
stay in Anderson?
yeah.
And why, what was the thinking behind that?
That's where I built the program. I mean, I wouldn't think of taking it somewhere else, you know. And I wanted to stay close, somewhat close to where I was already, which we were on the north side on Broadway. And downtown was a great place for me to be. So all the people downtown were good to me. And,
Yeah.
worked at the Paramount for 5 years. Did the open jam there, which was nice, just down the block, you know.
Yeah. Can you talk, what is the Open Jam?
Well, I started in 2007, just as a way for musicians to come and show off what they do, whether it's writing songs or, you know, maybe they're students and they.
So it's a show, or is
Yeah.
it, okay, so it's a set show and people come in and show their talents.
Yeah, but they sign up. So you know, people sign up and then they would just go down the list and people play, and it could be seasoned players, bands, songwriters, students, all the above sometimes.
Wow.
Yeah.
And haven't you had a young boy, he plays drums?
Corbin.
Yes, Corbin. We've talked about him before. And how old is he?
He's 9 now.
Okay, and
he's
he
been coming
started
to
with
Open
you.
Jam since he was 3. Since he started
Playing the
taking
drums.
lessons.
Man,
again,
oh
yeah.
man.
And he
Yeah.
just gets up there and he just does it. I mean, he's so serious.
Yeah.
I mean, he gets up there, he knows what to do, and he's always spot on. He's fun to watch.
Yeah, I love it. Just gives artists an opportunity to be on stage,
Yeah.
to kind of get a feel for it, to just practice a little bit, get their toe in the water with an audience, and just see how they feel about it, how they do, and just hone their craft. I love it.
Yeah.
I've never
It's a great
been to one. Is it a
opportunity.
safe place for somebody to do that? Like, you know, they're just testing it? It's a
Absolutely.
safe crowd?
It's supportive.
Absolutely.
Supportive.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
is. Yeah.
because it's a musical community, you know. So
Wow.
people will try out new songs. You know, it's a great way to if you've written a song to try it out in front of a crowd, and,
Yeah.
Gauge
Um,
reaction.
yeah.
Yeah.
and of
So-
course they'll be supportive, but it's a good chance to see what they, you know, how it goes when you
Yeah.
play it live and how people might react to it.
Let me ask you this, Rick. Have you sat in that show ever and been blown away by something you saw?
Yes.
Can you describe a couple of those?
Wow, there are a lot. Sometimes, you know, an instrumentalist, a guitar player, or you know, a saxophone player, or someone will show up that maybe you've never met before. Maybe none of us have ever met before, and they just blow everyone away, you know. And it's pretty amazing how that, since 2007, it's been almost 9 years. That, you know, that continues to happen pretty regularly. So
Wow.
I wouldn't have expected that when I started. I just thought, well, you know, it'll be fun and we'll see how long it lasts. And it's been kind of an important part for a lot of musicians, especially young. You know, they've never performed before, and they start performing at Open Jam, and then
Yeah.
some of those people are out playing professionally now. So
Yeah. One thing I like about Open Jam is you see people conversing afterwards and
Mhm.
during, and you see connections going on and
Yeah.
sharing, and it's really cool to see. And we've moved you've moved Open Jam to City Hall now.
right.
So, and we have that here in the auditorium, the third Friday of every month, and
And what time does it start?
let's see, we have sign up at 6:30, and then performances start at 7. So, and then we just go until we've gone through the list. We have a featured artist, and we also show that featured artist on Anderson TV. So, yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Usually estimated how many people perform?
It varies. It could be 20, 30. Sometimes I've had as many as 40.
Was that a long night?
That was a very long time.
So, over the years, how many people have you and your team coached?
Wow. I don't know that number. It's several hundred.
Well, if you have 200 now,
Yeah,
I mean, I can't. It's got to be in the thousands.
it could be.
I would
Yeah.
say, I would imagine.
And you are always busy with lessons.
Yes.
You
Just
and
one
your crew,
right
which is-
over,
Yeah.
back to back, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I go up there and I take my kids, and they're coming and going, and you know, when I call you to try to squeeze you in for something, you're like, well, I've got this, and this. I mean, you are constantly going.
Yeah.
Monday, weekends, you know.
Monday through Saturday, yeah.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. Yeah.
Just think of all the people that will always remember you for bringing music to their life.
Yeah,
That is huge.
yeah.
And I think not
I
only
agree.
music, but a sense of self-worth and I almost like a continuity to their lives. Like my son you have been his guitar teacher for years now, and I have loved for him that every week he has seen your face. You know, you're an amazing guy. He's amazing, and I love that Ben has your influence in his life every week consistently, and that doesn't happen very often especially for our guys that are, you know, young sons that don't want, you know, they don't connect with a whole lot of things, but they connect with you. He'll connect with you. He connects with music, and what a relief to know that he has that place to go to. I love it.
Rick, what do you say to parents who want their kids to play and they don't want to play?
I try to encourage them to find an instrument, at least find an instrument that the kid is drawn to. You know, some kids don't want to play because they don't want to play the instrument that
Their
they're
parent
being
wants
told
them
to
to.
play. So I think people kind of gravitate towards instruments that kind of make sense to them. So, you know, maybe they don't want to play piano because it's not interesting to them, but guitar or drums or something like that.
Yeah.
So that's usually my advice is, you know, let them explore some things. Sometimes we'll have them come to us just for a time where they can just get their hands on different instruments and, you know, kind of like almost just stand back and let them go where they're naturally drawn,
Yeah.
and then start from there.
Just personally, my boys play music, and started loving it when they were little kids. And I don't know if you trained one of my kids. I'm not sure. Sounds like he was a monkey. I don't know if you trained my son.
Well,
But
that's what I was alluding
but anyway.
to earlier. I think he's been a really good influence for my kid.
but anyways, that's what they're making their career now, is
Cool.
music, and that's something, you know, you can play sports up until a point, but music you have with you, and there's nothing like, I would think that when you get emotional and you're feeling something, especially sadness, to be able to sit down and to pour it through an instrument would be so freeing and so real, and you know, I just think it's a gift to
Yeah.
play music. So thank you for what you're doing. It's huge.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I made Ben take piano lessons for, I am not even kidding you, for 5 years, and he was completely miserable the entire time. Would not practice piano, wanted nothing to do with it, was going nowhere. Finally, his piano teacher would try to get him to play like little dumb fun songs, in that little just to try to get him to do
Wait a minute, how did that go?
something.
Wait a minute, do that one again.
No.
I'm sorry, that was a dumb little one.
Trying to get him to do anything, to just have some sort of feeling for the piano other than hatred, and it just didn't happen. But then he said, you know, hey, I've always wanted to play guitar. I'm like, whatever. You know, I see how the wasted money went on piano lessons, and so we brought him over to you, and he has just blossomed, and
Yeah.
and is now you don't have to tell him to practice, which is bizarre.
Yeah.
So I think you're absolutely right about that. The kids just have to find their own thing and what they, you know, what they're drawn to, and so often as parents we try to
We want to
circumnavigate.
control it.
Yes.
We want it, yeah.
When
I don't
it's
want my
their
kids
little-
playing the drums. I want them playing the violin because
Right.
it's so much more noble
Right.
kind of a thing, yeah.
Well, and I did tell Ben that if you want to get the girls, play guitar. And so that seemed to really work.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Now, the violin doesn't work very well.
But it's noble, Frank.
It's noble.
It is.
Good for you, buddy.
When was the last time
Stay
you
strong.
played? When was the last time you played it?
30 years ago.
Oh,
Boy,
really?
Frank, there was a moment. Did something happen 30 years ago?
No, I put my violin away. Got it back.
Wait, wait!
You were made fun of for the last
Actually, I
time.
was first chair. violin.
Wow.
So you're not bad. What is
I
wrong with
wasn't
you?
bad then, but that was 30 years ago. So,
Frank, I'm sorry. I think that you need to break it back out.
I have it at home in the box.
You not only bring music into the lives of kids, teaching them how to play, but you also have older people that come in because it's never too late to learn. What is the oldest person you've had come in there and learn something?
I think that would be 84. I think.
84.
Yeah,
Lady or a man?
a man.
It was a man.
Yeah.
And he
Banjo.
came in and he wanted to do what?
Play banjo. He always wanted to play the banjo.
Good for him. I love that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. What did you teach him the theme from Deliverance right away?
Nope. But that
That's the
is-
one I'd want to learn.
That's something that everyone expects banjo players to know.
Ned Beatty is in the background.
That's dueling
Hey, but
banjos,
also,
actually. That's
um,
Lester Flatt and Earl Scruggs.
Oh.
So,
Really?
yeah.
Frank knew that.
Frank doesn't know anything in and out.
Out of the blue. See, that's what he does. I throw him stuff and he goes, nope, nope. And then when he wants to insult me,
I didn't insult
And
you.
to make me
I was
look
just saying
small.
that was, no.
did you correct me?
I mean, it's
I
not
didn't
that
correct
hard,
you.
really.
I just
You
said, you
did.
said
You gotta
Warren
do that on
Beatty.
your own.
That's called a
Ned
correction.
Boys.
Ned Beatty was in the movie.
Okay, but I'm saying who did
he
the
didn't play the-
actual recording?
Oh.
He wasn't playing a banjo.
You guys are bickering.
I'm sorry.
Sorry.
Does bickering take place where you work?
Not really.
No, I
Man.
can't imagine
They're
it.
using music as a way to.
Hey, tell them what you do on Sunday mornings, too.
Oh, on Sunday mornings, I play at Madison Park Church. I'm the instrumental coordinator
Really?
there.
That's wonderful. Now that's a real small venue.
It's tiny. Yeah,
That's huge.
it's big. Yeah,
So you work really 7 days a week.
Yeah.
yeah.
And you probably live, breathe, eat music.
I do,
But you
yeah.
love it. Yeah, I mean, that's what you do.
I'm talking about working 7 days a week, smiling.
Doing what you love.
Yeah.
Doing what you love.
Yeah,
Doesn't probably feel like work then.
not so much.
That's the key. Is doing something that you love, and it's not work.
Mhm.
I'm sure there's the stuff that you don't like to do sometimes, but because every job's got to have something.
Right,
to
yeah.
it. But
Business stuff
Pulling gear.
can be.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So do you know how to play the banjo?
yeah.
Oh wow.
what do you play?
Yeah.
My main instruments are guitar, bass, drums, but I also teach banjo, mandolin, ukulele, things like that.
Who taught you? Sorry, Frank. I just want to know who taught him.
Oh, it's okay.
I didn't have much opportunity as a kid to take private lessons like I do now. But I've learned from lots of people, everyone I've ever played with. There's a great bass player named Victor Wooten that I've learned from, and some of the people in his circle. So
Victor Wooten may want to be one of the best, isn't
most people would say he is the best.
he? Yeah. You a Les Claypool guy?
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
So nobody formally taught you?
Not formally in the sense that I sat down every week with, one-on-one with a teacher, like I get to do for people
You're
now.
self-taught.
Somewhat.
How old were you when you started playing?
8, when I started playing the drums,
Mhm.
and 11 when I started playing guitar,
Okay.
and then later on I picked up bass and some other ones, banjo.
So was it something that it just came to you naturally, or was it something that you really had to discipline yourself?
It came, the wanting to do it came very naturally.
Mhm.
I don't know that the music stuff came naturally to me, but I've always tried to work
Mhm.
hard at it.
Sure.
You know, I don't know that I'm, particularly just naturally talented or anything, but
Do you remember the moment? What was the moment when you were a kid and you go, I want to play drums? What was it?
it's funny. Guns N' Roses,
Mhm.
the Welcome to the Jungle video.
Aren't they? They're a
When I
local
was 3
gospel
years
group,
old.
right?
Yes,
Yeah.
local gospel,
That's
you're
great.
right.
Yeah.
Full gospel.
Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
So you a big Guns N' Roses
gospel.
fan?
I love Guns N' Roses.
Yeah.
And lots of other music too, but that was
That was
the moment when I was 3 years old that I saw that video and those guys playing on stage, and I said,
That's it.
that's what I want to do, man.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
That's
so
cool.
awesome. Now, do you have a musical family, or how? Sorry,
No.
Frank.
Not at all.
No?
No. I have a great uncle who I've met twice who plays guitar, and that's pretty much the extent of it.
Okay, Frank, what were you gonna say? Sorry,
I don't.
interrupted you.
No, I was going to ask. Can you teach left-handed people how to play instruments?
Yeah.
Okay.
Are you
He
left-handed?
my son's
I'm
left-handed.
left-handed. Yes.
Yeah, he
That's
teaches
good,
Ben.
Yeah.
He's left-handed.
If you guys could learn any and be good, proficient at an instrument, what would you be?
Violin, probably.
Are
I'm
you
jealous of your
serious?
violin skills.
Really?
I tried in high school, and they said, just don't even try it. Your hands are they don't stretch or whatever it is. And she was like, just it's not. You're too late for
But
you.
it would be violin.
Mhm.
Why?
I just thought it was beautiful.
Okay.
Oh, so beautiful.
be.
Mhm.
Jody,
Drums, totally. Yep.
Frank, if you had to do it all over again,
Guitar.
electric, acoustic,
Just
bass,
regular.
the regular
The
guitar.
regular.
That would be acoustic. That would be acoustic.
What's
Yeah.
the regular one? Is that electric?
No, I don't want electric.
I have never seen a regular guitar.
As opposed to a miniature.
I like a miniature.
That would be the ukulele. Hey,
The pink
he
one.
can give you lessons
Toys
on
R
that.
Us.
If I could start again.
Tiny too.
I would probably play drums.
Yeah. So always thought it was cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
John Bonham.
Yeah. That'd be good therapy too. On, you know.
But I think I'd rather be the lead singer than anything else.
Me too.
Oh my.
Yeah.
Me too.
Yeah.
In fact, that's what I would do if I could do anything. Just be a lead singer.
Okay.
What would you do?
I would do what I'm doing now.
Look at that!
Wow.
You're doing what you want to do.
Yeah.
Do you know how rare that is?
Yes.
Yeah. Really.
I
What
just
would you say to
appreciate
anybody
it.
who's watching, who says, I wish I could do what I want to do? What would be your advice?
Go for it. You know, nothing stopping you,
Yeah.
really. You know,
Yeah.
it's,
I do think that we are the only ones stopping ourselves.
yeah.
I wanted to do something the other day. I was like, well, I can't do that. And then I was like, wait, what?
Why
Really,
not?
why can't I do that? Oh, because I just told myself I couldn't.
Yeah.
Mm.
So I think we do that so much more than we
Yeah.
even realize. We shut ourselves down.
Yeah.
Mhm.
But I think that's great advice.
That's saying just go do it.
Yeah.
Get in there.
Yeah.
Like if I had a shoe campaign, that would be my shoe campaign.
Like, just do it.
Just do it.
Weird.
So
Strange, though. I think there's already one out there. But I mean, that's okay.
So somebody just stole it.
Yeah. So you could use just stole it.
Okay.
Just steal it.
Just
Steal
took
it.
it.
let me ask,
Just take it.
in your grand plan for, you know, the future, of course you gotta think of where do I wanna take this? Do you have a big vision for, or are you just, are you living it now? Do you have big goals that you wanna, where you wanna take
Yeah.
this, or?
I always want to expand it more, you know. There are some things that we want to do in the field of music research too. Has nothing to do with education directly, but
Right.
there are things that I would like to know as an educator that, you know, so I could learn about how people learn music and how they're affected by music and
That sounds interesting.
things like that. So that's sort of on the
Yeah.
grand plan thing, you
Yeah,
know,
that's awesome.
find out all those little things that may make teaching music more effective, make us more effective as teachers, and you know, find ways to teach people music that, you know, they'll benefit more from.
Sure.
You know, I'd be interested in studies that show, because I think a lot more people have anxiety than they've ever had. A lot more people have depression than they've ever had.
I agree.
That if they had an instrument that they could really play, if that really impacts it, less by lessening the anxiety or depression. And if their quality of life goes up, that'd be very interesting to see
It
that.
certainly would be.
Yeah. To be able to channel that.
Yeah, I see it work all the time, you know, in my world, you know.
Well, like you alluded to earlier, when something's going on and there's something on your mind or you're feeling some sort of emotion, a lot of people do grab their instrument and pick it up and start strumming. And you know, I see in my life, I see people around me do that when they're trying to process through a lot of stuff. And I think that there's some universal language that none of us really know why it's there, but it's there and it connects us. And I think music is magical. I really do.
I think
In
that's a
every
gift.
sense of the word.
Yeah, it's a gift to humanity to be able to have it.
Richard, have you thought about working with Anderson University? I mean, they have a great music program there. I mean, to do what you're talking about doing, I mean, I don't know if they have what you're looking for, but
As far as research?
yeah, I mean, I would think they
Yeah,
would.
they have
have
resources
something.
like that. Yeah, I haven't explored that possibility. A lot of us, you know, a lot of my staff are either current AU students or alums.
That's great.
So,
Rick, you're making a difference in so many people's lives over the years and years and years, and they'll never forget it. What a gift. Thank you so much for what you're doing.
Absolutely.
And thanks for not letting it die when things closed.
Yeah.
Yeah, great job. Jody, thanks for asking Rick to be with us today.
Absolutely.
Well, guys, thank you so much for joining us on the Lens today. Rick, once again, your store is where? I mean, your studio.
it's in the PNC building, downtown Anderson.
Okay, and to do lessons, they need to do what?
Just call us, email us. There's an online sign up. Lots of different ways you can sign up.
And it's called
The Slick Music Studio.
the Slick Music Studio. And so every third Friday of the month, except for this month in December, they're going to do it on the,
It's the 18th.
it is the third. Oh, it is, it works out. The 18th at City Hall. Sign-ups are at 6:30 if you'd like to perform. And then the show starts at 7 o'clock.
Yeah.
And so that's downtown City Hall. Thanks to Jody for being a part of that as well. And for Frank, Jody, and Darla, and Rick, I want to say thank you for joining us. Happy Thanksgiving and Merry Christmas.